here are a couple examples of just factoring trinomials, but in the end, they do work out into a special pattern. So these actually are special trinomials, even though we may not know it until the end. So I just wanted to go through a couple of these. So we see an example where we have to factor a trinomial. So what we're going to do is we're going to see, is there a number in front of the x squared? In this case, there's not. So that means that we're looking for factors of 25 that add up to this middle term of negative 10. Well, your factors of 25 are 25 and 1, or 5 and 5. And it's that 5 and 5 that are going to help us out. So we can go ahead and go straight to our parentheses. You have an x and an x because it's just x squared. And then because this is a positive 25, that means that both factors are positive or both factors are negative. And which ones are going to add up to a negative 10? Those are going to be negative 5s. So x minus 5 and x minus 5. And then this is actually called a perfect square trinomial because when we factored it, you notice we have the exact same factors right here. So if that ever happens, just go ahead and take it one step further. We're going to say x plus 5 squared. That one is done. Alright, now this next one, we say, oh look, there's a number in front of the x squared. So that's our guess and check. Anytime that you have to guess and check, one thing to help guide your guessing a little bit is look to see, is the first term and the last term, are they perfect square terms? And in this case they are. We have a 25 and we have a 4. So when we do our guessing and checking, the first thing I'm going to try, remember these first two terms multiply to 25x squared. So I'm going to try a 5x and a 5x. And then the second terms have to multiply to 4, but because that's a perfect square number, let's try a 2 and a 2. This will just be our first guess. It may or may not work, but because those are perfect square numbers, this might work out kind of nicely. Because it's a positive 4, that means these are positive 2's or negative 2's, but they're adding up to this positive term, so these are going to be plus. And now we'll just check our answer. Check the outside, 5x times 2 is 10x. Check the inside, 2 times 5x is 10x. If we combine those, do we get our middle term? And we do. So 5x plus 2 and 5x plus 2 is our factored answer, but again, do you see how we have the same factors? So we'll go ahead and write it just once with a squared on the outside. So we can approach these trinomials like we normally do, but sometimes you will get the same set of factors, so go ahead and write it once with a squared on the outside.